So Friday. Oh, Tuesday.
Send
We can't copy it, keep that in there.
All in writing.
I don't know.
Fancy.
I like it. Right.
We're in that this way.
Yeah, I got it.
July 21st.
Yeah.
I'm gonna sleep between now and then.
Well, everybody can make sure. Hey, have
I
a
can
quorum.
remember that.
I just letting you know.
Lori will remember. She'll write it down in her calendar someplace.
If it's on the text, I can also go back and say, oh, yeah.
That was the first thing I requested off.
But you know, not everybody. That was just a big old rumor.
Okay. Let's be here.
Talking to somebody and he told me that you were.
Like the whole thing on a house or something?
Yeah, you were buying a place for them. I said, God, that's gonna be the downfall of the town.
What? But it's, no, there's not anything we're considering.
I could,
I made a joke.
I could believe.
Mm,
Made a joke.
well, the White House. I was the main speaker on the main. I did it. And then just to be in the middle of the action for the parade. That's probably the only house
Somebody,
to move forward.
somebody probably heard you say that.
Well, it was just two kids.
Oh, I
Well,
don't know. Somebody came to me and said, oh, yeah. Oh. I typed right away, go out, whoa,
Yeah, I mean, I'm talking.
bad
about
news.
60. And I'm 60 next.
40 years.
Ray, you're full of it tonight. Wonder.
I don't know. I can't even remember who told me that. That I knew. They told me that. Gotta be gospel. They read that part of the show. Well, at least they're not crowding it into the last week of the school year.
Right.
All right, we got 6 o'clock by the big clock. We'll go ahead and get started. I'll entertain a motion to approve the agenda.
I'll make a motion to approve the agenda.
And a motion and a second. Any further discussion? All in favor? Opposed? Motion carried.
Make a motion to approve the minutes.
Got a motion to approve the minutes with a second. Any further discussion over our last month's, last meeting? Hearing none, all in favor? Opposed? Motion carried. Andrew, what do you got for us this time?
I don't know why I even come up here. You done told me I've got mine for the year. Oh,
All right,
August
thank you
16th.
so much.
August 16th, there is a benefit ride for it's like a house that somebody bought for people who are having transplants up in Kalamazoo. They're doing a benefit ride and they want to use this as a stop. It would be during farmers market time. But there's not gonna be enough bikes that we couldn't make it with the parking in front of the courthouse. If we can do that. If not, then we'll have to go over to what's that next street north, south?
Hmm.
Lafayette.
Lafayette.
Oh, down Lafayette.
Oh. If the parking in front of the courthouse is not.
How many bikes you think?
They're expecting 100, so probably 75. Because it's never the amount that you're expecting. So probably about 75.
You couldn't fit that many in front of the courthouse, could you?
It's tight. Yeah.
Well,
You'd probably be better off to go in front of the library, because you can park on both sides of the road there. And you can park down below in the parking lot, because the bank will be closed at noon. What time are they coming through?
11:30 to 12. Wow.
Well, I guess all I've got to say is if you can crowd them in there and there's parking, go to it. If you can't, hunt for parking someplace else,
Yeah, the perfect place.
because,
yeah, because you got side streets.
With,
that-
with the, market and everything, there could be a lot of cars parked out front. Do we know if there's a chicken barbecue that day? Have we got anything?
We had some scheduled, but unless we look on the calendar.
August the 16th.
Yeah.
We could cross that weekend off.
Yeah,
Not let them do anything
Yeah.
uptown, they can have it out here.
that'd give you a lot more area, and you would have the trailer there cooking and the people standing, with people driving in and everything. We'd open that up a little bit more.
They could do in front of the courthouse and up Michigan Street.
Yeah,
That'd be nice.
and even in front of the Justice Department there, which is right on the west side of the courthouse there. That would be all open
Nice.
through there too.
Right there at the corner high and
Yeah,
Michigan.
yeah, the Justice Department. Kenner's Towers.
I think 75 bikes shouldn't be a problem.
Long as, I guess I would say as long as they stay out of the farmer's market,
Mhm.
because we're not gonna block
As long
them
as
for
the
that.
bikes stay.
The bikes stay out of there, yeah. Other than that, go
I'm sure
there,
some of the riders.
buy all the stuff you want, yeah.
Yeah.
Buy, walk through there, buy all you want. so.
Yeah.
But that's me. It's up to the board.
Yep, I make a motion to approve that. Second.
Got a motion and a second, approve the benefit ride. Parking at on Detroit Street and wherever else they need for 75 to 200 bikes.
You know.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried.
Thank you very much.
You're more than welcome. Thank you. And, good luck. Hope it's a nice day.
Hopefully Saturday. will be nice.
Yeah. So I got what is it, Jonas Miller? Jonas, what you got? Come on up here to the podium.
So we're building a building straight west of this building. Hopefully we'll start breaking ground in mid-May. And so we're within the limits for hooking up to the septic. I came in to talk to Mark about it, and he said it's on the east side of 9, I think it is right now, and it'd be pretty astronomical cost to get it over to this side and get us some septic, or get us hooked up to the city.
Okay, so
Sewer.
what did the county tell you? That you
We're
had to
in the
hook up?
county.
I know, but what did they tell you when you wanted to hook to a septic?
They would like to have, they're fine. We did soil borings and found a good spot to put it. They just need an approval. And Mark thought that this board would be
Okay, so they didn't tell you you had to hook into our system since you
No.
were so close?
They said, Alfredo said he needs a letter saying that you guys are okay with us hooking up or us putting in a septic system.
Are we good for that?
The,
That amount?
the issue at hand is where he's gonna put his building. The closest connection point would be where we hook in our building back here, but that was done years ago. It's extremely shallow and it's small. And it will only support, and it's a 6-inch main that runs out and ties into the larger main underneath town line. The issue is we tied the auto port store in and then years later, so it's maxed out. If he were going to hook to us in the shortest distance from his building, he would have to install a grinder and a pump. And then I assume getting off, depending on where his building is, have us grant him an easement so that he could come down to get into the easement that exists on the south side of our parking lot in that grassy area. And then he would have to bore that force main in that easement out. They'd have to cut the road, dig up the road, and go down and tie the force main to the sewer main is a possibility. And he's not far off. I mean, it'd be a bunch of money. And depending on how far back he's gonna have his building and how many feet of force main that, that would take, but it's probably in a safe guesstimate, 4 to 1 into what it would cost him to just put in a septic.
The only thing that I worry about is that we're setting precedents, because we've had other people that have requested sewer permits or sewer variances that we haven't granted because they're too close to our sewer line, and it costs them a lot of money. One of them was Michigan Street Extended. When that guy built that new house, he had to hook into our system, and he could have put a septic in there too. But item says that if they're within so many feet of a line, whether it's capable of handling that amount or not. So what all are you gonna be pumping through this thing? I mean, it's just gonna be a full barn with a restroom for you?
No, we're gonna have, it's a furniture warehouse.
Oh, it's a furniture
Storing-
warehouse?
Storing furniture.
So,
It's an unmanned warehouse, but we'll have our main office for.
so
Trinity.
there again, it's just a
Yeah.
restroom
Yeah,
and
there's gonna be.
kitchenette.
2 restrooms, a kitchenette.
You're not planning on pumping any waste down through there, like chemical waste? You're not rebuffing everything and restaining,
No,
anything
this
like
is
that?
just
Just a
storage
warehouse.
there. And then we maintain our own truck, so we're gonna have a maintenance.
So you'll have a wash bay there,
Yeah,
oil and stuff going down through there?
not supposed to be, but if it is, we're gonna have a grease trap for that.
He wouldn't tie it forward.
And you wouldn't tie that in there anyway.
No, that'd be illegal.
And I think one of the things that, since it's not going to be an incredibly large use, we could easily just make it for this use and this use only. And then if there was ever a situation where they decided to turn that into a place where they actually made furniture, then we could come back and say, no, you've got to hook up.
I've said what I gotta say, so you guys decide what you wanna do.
Is this building gonna bring additional jobs to our community, or is this
At
just
this point, we're hoping to bring in 3 more.
3 more people?
Right now, we have most of our guys haul furniture over the roads. They're gone through the week. And so we have 2 full-time and 1 part-time mechanics right now, and then 2 office staff. And then every once in a while, some guys coming in and out, dropping off furniture and then. So we're looking at 5 to 7 people at the moment, maybe.
Well, I'm gonna make a motion based on what our attorney Bill said, if, what we can do, what I would like to see is, grant your request for a septic system, but if you get your business grows, which I hope it does, we can put a recommendation in for you to put a sewer line in.
I'll second.
Got a motion and a second to allow the septic system. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor? Opposed? Motion carried.
I appreciate your time.
Okay, thank you. Good luck.
Yeah, thanks.
Lori, what you got for us tonight?
I sent out, March, yeah, I wanted to say April, March based, reconciliation report, you should have authorization for rate of sign off on that.
I make a motion to accept a bank reconciliation.
A second.
Got a motion and a second to accept our April bank reconciliation. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor? Opposed? Motion carried.
Don't think I have anything else for tonight.
Did you get the banners ordered?
I did not order banners, but Carol and I did discuss which one we was interested in. Apparently, I didn't get the correct message that it was chosen.
Well, I thought it was, we like these, you pick out of the final.
It's all good. I just.
So we will get those ordered. The new banners for downtown did come in, the patriotic ones.
Oh,
If I get these ordered, then the next step will be looking at fall ones.
will these be in time to be up before our first, second Saturday?
I forgot that's coming when I know. I'll see what we can do.
We never had them before.
Yeah.
What?
So,
We didn't have flags before.
and it's something that can be put up every year. It
Sure.
doesn't have to be year on,
Mhm.
as long as you don't add July in, it'll be good.
Mhm.
Anything else? Anybody have anything for Lori? Okay. Mark, you got anything else other than your report?
Yeah, I got a couple of things. I just wanted to say our new guy, Chris, he's doing good. Comes back every day, so obviously he likes us enough to stay with us. He's been doing a lot of background. Street department's been helping him learn the different ways of the vectors, so hopefully we can retain that, and so we can use the vector on our own when we need to. I wanted to get you guys a total. Holly gave me a total of what she thought the fluoride room cost us on our new plant, and she figured it was probably close to $250,000. So that was one thing I knew it would be expensive, so I knew that was something you'd want to know going into this fluoride talk. On top of that, it's the $3 a day for the chemicals. I can't see having to replace any equipment in there anytime soon. So really, it's just the $3 a day plus a little bit of power to run the small pump that's in there. So yeah, by not fluoridating, we would save $1,000 a year, $1,500 a year, something like that. And not get to use our new fluoride room, I guess. So
I don't think it's so much the money, it's the politics of it right now.
I totally understand that. I just know money talks
Yeah.
to a lot of people. So, and politics is hard to change somebody's mind.
Right.
So it's just another variable I thought I'd throw in there because
Okay,
people.
but that's interesting to know.
People are
When
gonna-
they ask us,
you said
we'll be
they're
able to tell them. So.
So yeah, that was the main thing. I just wanted you to know how much all of that costs. Other than that, we're just busy.
While we're talking about that real quick, and you're talking about the Vactor and everything, at our recent AIM meeting, we heard that LTAP is now paying for CDLs. Isn't that what we heard, Mark?
Yeah.
So our guys that we're given $6,000 for, LTAP will do that for free for us now. So that's a huge, huge savings. And,
Like a different program you have to go through.
it's for CDL, so. If we got guys that we should train everybody with a CDL, if we're getting it for free, the only thing it is time and their wages. But, that's $6,000 in our pockets and they're worth their weight in gold once they get that CDL.
I figured we'd wait till he takes his certification test, because like I put here, he's actually already able to take them, so. I know he signed up, I can't remember when exactly he signed up for, but
So food for thought for you in the back of your mind, because, well, if he's running that, we might as well have him driving the truck there instead of somebody else, and then he has to stand there and operate it. Let's get him trained, and that way he can drive the truck there.
Yeah, yeah.
that's definitely one of the things we're looking at.
Yeah.
Getting him
Well, same way with some of our street guys and different things like that. Wastewater treatment, let's get everybody trained at CDLs. And it works out really great now that we can get it for free, because before, $6,000 is, we can use a lot of other places. So,
Mhm.
food for thought. Okay, anybody have anything else from our,
Mm-mm.
thanks for everything. Sue, how are you this fine, wonderful evening?
Not too bad.
Good.
Trying to get over being sick, but,
Quit it,
um,
stand back a little part.
it's not contagious, you're fine.
Yeah, that's what they all said. Just be-
Can we pause for just a second?
Sure, pause,
The video's not working.
and we got a hammer. Does anybody in the audience have a hammer?
Got a gun.
Well, that'll work. Oh, you got it already out. Good for you.
You can stay. I just printed one off for everybody.
Don't know why it's focused on me. Oh, that's why. Yeah, uh-huh. Yes.
Is this because we're having heavier trucks coming in and out of it?
Well, they put my seat right on top of it.
Can our street department do this?
Do they have time?
For this amount, they can make time.
Got going now.
I think
With a reset. There you
There
go.
we go.
All right, thank you, everybody, for pausing for a minute. We had trouble with our video. It's all back and running. Hopefully, everybody can see us that we're streaming on this. Go ahead, Sue.
So, well, I have the report, and then this is, so our two entry gates to our plant, need some help, with all the heavy septic trucks coming in and out. It's breaking up my asphalt. So I got a couple quotes, from people that I've talked to. Concrete would be the best bet as far as holding up better in the long run with all the big trucks and stuff coming in and out. So those are the quotes I have. Concrete is a little bit more expensive, but if it saves us from having to tear it up again in a couple years and redoing it, that would be my suggestion to
Entry
go.
gates or entry gates.
And then we'll be widening out a little bit. Keeps washing out and they keep tearing up the yard, so we're just gonna widen it so that they don't do that.
So your recommendation is use JH Custom Concrete then?
They gave us the best price on concrete, so that's kind of what we're hoping for.
And Lori, we're good on money for this, correct?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Do you have specs on this so we know the thickness, the size of the re-rod? all
Well, they're
that
putting
stuff?
it, the concrete quotes are for 8-inch concrete with rebar.
I'll make a motion with that, we use JH Custom Concrete for $16,950. 94. So, for
Second.
Got a motion and a second to have, JH Custom Concrete for 16,950.94 are 2 entry gates and widening. 8-inch with rebar. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. When are they gonna plan on start this?
Hopefully as soon as they can get to it.
One side at a time, I hope.
Yeah, they'll have to do one side and then probably wait a week or so and then do the other side.
I'd kind of like, if you get a chance, I'd like to know the bag mix and, the size of rebar that they're putting in there.
Okay.
So, because you can do, 2 bag and it wears out fast. So we need at least, what, 5, 7 bags, something like that for the strength.
I'll find out.
Okay.
And then I'm sure Mark has informed you guys that we've had some pump problems and had to order some pumps, so I'll let him discuss more of that as well, but we've got the pumps ordered. They said they should be able to get us the first one in the next 4 weeks.
Oh, okay.
So hopefully that'll keep the plant from flipping.
That's not even funny.
Yeah, it won't be that
Yeah, that's what they all say. Until it
bad. But
happens.
yeah,
Then
other
why
than
not?
that, that's all I have.
Okay. You guys have anything for,
Thank you.
all right, have a Merry Christmas. John. Street department's been busy.
Yep,
All this nice weather, everybody's raking and picking up branches. You guys just about need to do that every day, don't you?
I'm hoping there's an end to it myself, but
Well, these 20, 30 mile an hour winds, I see my neighbors are all, trees are all branches falling out of them again, so. At least no freezing rain now.
that's a good thing.
That's a good thing. Anything special you want to talk about other than what's in your report?
No, just what's in the report.
Okay. You guys have anything for John? Hey, and thanks a lot for the quick response last week or last meeting for 9 and 20.
Yep, no problem.
Appreciate that. So, all right, hearing nothing else. Thank you. Have a good night.
You too.
Amber, is she online? Can't see behind me.
She's not.
They are busy too.
Yes, they are.
Where are we at on finding more help, summer help for out there?
We got the 3. Got 2 college and 1 high school kid hired. The college kids will finish and be able to start approximately May 15th. And I think the high school kid, I think Lakeland runs school pretty much to the end of May, so they'll probably be a couple of weeks later.
Is she thinking that 3's enough? Do we need to have more?
That's what we used last year, so we'll take off at that, and I think we'll be okay, but if not, we'll go from there, but hopefully these 3 will work as well as the 3 she had last year. We'll be in good shape.
All right. While we're talking about that, have we had any thought process on hiring for the street department to do the mowing instead of our guys?
Yeah, I've got a gentleman that's interested in that, so hopefully, this week's really bad, but hopefully I can get with him. I think the guys have mowed once this year so far, but I think we can work something out with him and at least get him in here to do the park and some of that stuff. Retired gentleman, I know.
Yeah, we got too much work to do around town to have our guys mowing when we can hire somebody to just for mowing. So, okay.
And Delmer Chuck from the jail also said that they would be willing for people that are on work release, if they don't necessarily have a job to go to, it would be free labor if we ever need help with anything.
Oh,
So
let's look
something to
into
keep in
that
mind.
because you can't have enough people out at the cemetery or any place else mowing and weeding.
Yeah,
Uh,
just something to keep in mind, that, you know, if we need a couple days of extra help.
But there's times in the summer, in the spring, right about now, where you can't weed fast enough around that cemetery. So if we could get some of that, we probably have to purchase a couple more weed eaters, but
We do that. For free labor.
yeah, something to think about, Mark. Okay. We'll talk about it later. See what we need. All right, anything else? Park, Carolyn, you have anything?
I don't think there's anything new for the park. Black banners are settled and new rules, I think, are in place, going in place.
Did we pass an ordinance?
I think we did, didn't
I know we had one that you reviewed. Did they pass it?
The ordinance.
I think Bill rewrote that, so
It's not been passed.
It's not
They-
been passed.
They asked him to make some changes.
yeah.
we? Oh,
Don't think I have a copy of those changes. I should have.
It's, everybody should have got that in an email, so,
That's why I thought if I did get one.
yeah. Because he took out, us, any employee, you know, going after somebody that's breaking the rules. And we had all of that wiped to only a police officer could go after somebody. So, yeah. And, so once we get that copy of that, we can pass that.
mhm.
If everybody's had a chance to read it, we could go ahead and, no, we better not wait till we get an official one in our hands.
Mhm.
that we
I was,
can-
I was gonna say, I had a copy go out to everybody, probably
Right.
by Wednesday of last week.
Oh,
We
yeah.
got it all out and.
Yeah,
And the only change the only blanks I have, if we're gonna have me get it, you know, I can have it ready for your next meeting easy enough. Is I didn't have the park hours or the splash pad hours to put in there.
but I think if we leave that blank, we can put those in case they change.
Okay. Well, I mean, I thought you would at least want what you got now in there.
Well, that's true. I don't even know what those are. It's not sun up to sundown, I know that, so.
Yeah.
Well, I will get with Mark then,
6,
and
8.
we'll have that to you for your next meeting.
All right. But other than that, I thought it looked good. Did I respond back to you that I thought it looked good?
Yes.
I thought I did, yeah, because I liked all that other stuff that you took out about who was gonna be, you know.
We got it while it was fresh in my
enforcement.
memory.
Yeah, it was enforcement for employees and anybody, which could lead to
Problems.
problems.
You were gonna talk about penalties on if someone committed a crime today that
Yes, he changed that too.
If they're asked to,
That was near the end of the thing.
maybe I did get it and just.
it says if they are asked to leave, they're not to return to the park for a period of 30 days or face additional trespass charges. If they're there using the park during the commission of a crime, the ban shall be 6 months for a misdemeanor and 5 years for vandalism or felony.
And that was what Carolyn had requested because she didn't like the word never.
I feel good about 6 months to 5 years.
So it sounds like everything's gonna be good. Oh, that's right.
Mhm.
You didn't read this because
Yeah,
your computer's not working right, so you need to go get that fixed,
Mhm.
even if I have to take it.
Where is it gonna go?
So, okay, we'll hold that, we'll table that till our next meeting. And hopefully we'll have that in hand so that we can sign and get that into effect, because that'll go into effect before our first Saturday
Mhm.
Oh, do
or second Saturday. Yeah, so that was.
I need to get on the ordinance.
When
It's
is
an
that?
odd day.
May 10th.
Okay.
Okay, anything else? All right, thank you, Carolyn, for all your assistance. Rich?
I have nothing for tonight.
Okay.
You have something for me?
Anybody have anything for Rich?
Where are you at on the halfway down barn out on Patch?
We were just talking about that apparently there was supposed to be a contractor, so I'm gonna send out another letter to him, because I never got a phone number, because he called Mark. Or the contractor called Mark, I think. So we haven't seen the contractor there, so I'm gonna send another letter out, so.
It just looks pretty dangerous.
Oh, yeah, it keeps getting worse.
I just mentioned that. to him.
No, I had mentioned that,
Okay.
so, and we were just talking about it for the meeting, so. I'll send another letter out.
Rich's new officer graduates Friday. And so, hopefully at our next meeting, he'll be able to come in and be introduced to us. Because we haven't seen him yet. He left before our meeting. It's like the 1st of January or something like that. So he's been gone, but now he's gonna be back. So
We'll bring
be a
it.
good addition. Mark, what have you got for us tonight?
Well, I've got multiple things. I got a couple of them that I see Holly's online as well that involve BLZ. I'm not sure if she wants me to talk about them or if she wants to run through these couple pay apps and this change order, or I can. What's your pleasure, Holly?
Sure, I can talk about them.
Okay.
So we'll start with the change order. So this is change order number 2 and final revision from the last meeting. After talking with Ottenweiler, Bill, and Mark, presenting it in this way kind of changes that settlement, how that's processed. So this will be a deduct to the overall contract for the water treatment plant on Ottenweiler's contract. And so the revised deduction is $97,326.47. So that final total, again, incorporates everything that was unused on the project as far as work allowances and the need for removal of additional unsuitable soils.
And that includes the repair to Bell Street and all the stuff that needs to be done there, right?
To Bell Street. This is for the water plant.
Water plant.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry.
Sorry.
Anybody have any problem with us getting a $97,000 back?
Yes.
But that's not what you're going to get back. That's what we're going to deduct from the contract. You're going to get a check for 150 cash from Ottenweiler.
Okay. So still, does anybody have any problem with that? Hearing none, all in favor?
That was a motion for the change order.
Yes.
I made it.
And who seconded it?
Second.
Yeah.
I didn't hear her.
No, I'm just filling your name out.
So then the next document I assume is Ottenweiler's final, or not their final pay app, but their last or most recent pay app, number 41. This is for work through March 31st, and this is the balance of everything with the exception of payout of the retainage, which will be requested and paid out after they send in that $150,000. So this pay up 41 is for the amount of $12,572.30. And that's for 100% of the contract.
Make a motion to make payment number 41 to Ottenweiler for $12,572.03.
Got a motion and a second for payment number 41 for $12,572.30. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried.
And then the last item that I have, this is pay application number 1 for Clear Creek Coatings. They are the contractor for the South Tower Rehabilitation Project. So this includes mobilization, repair, like the miscellaneous metal repairs, and also doing 90% of the exterior blasting and priming with the containment system that they have up around the tower. And that amount minus the 5% retainage is $182,827.50. And that's about 38% of the contract.
Make a motion to pay Clear Coat. I forget what the last C stands for, $182,827.50.
Second.
Clear
Creek.
Creek Coatings. There we go.
All right, so we have a motion and a second to payment number 1 for Clear Creek Coating Ltd. for $182,827.50. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried.
Is there anything else that you wanted me to touch on, Mark?
No, I think that's it. No, that's just. No, I've
Thank you
got
very much.
a pile to go through.
Thank you, Holly.
Thank you.
Okay, some of them, I did attend, the commissioners meeting this morning, and we did get, final approval on the Dairy Queen site
Sweet.
rezoned to B4, so we'll close on that, on Thursday, and they'll take ownership of the property. So that's moving forward. Sue had touched on with these pumps. I did authorize her to go ahead and move forward with those at the plant. In short, there's 3 different pumps. One is completely not working, one is barely working, and one's making a lot of noise and kind of working. So they're pretty critical in my mind to the process. And we did upgrade the pumps slightly, and part of the reason that we did that is it should help a little bit with the maintenance, but more so was the timeline on what we could get them to get identical pumps to what she had there now. We were 6 to 8 months just to get the pumps, and I thought that was way too long to roll the dice that what's left wouldn't go away. So hopefully, like she said, they'll come in and we can get at least one of them replaced fairly quickly, and then move on. And as long as we have one, it's not perfect, but as long as we have one functioning, she should be okay.
So this price, was that for all 3 pumps or just one single pump?
No, that was.
That was all 3 pumps. Okay, in order to make Mark's decision viable, I'll entertain a motion.
I make a motion that we approve the $150,000 for the 3 pumps.
A second.
We got a motion and a second to purchase pumps for the wastewater treatment plant for 150. Let me see that. 150,000 even. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. And thank you, Mark, for doing that, getting that started right away. Even though it's within your limits and it was an emergency, it's good to have the board backing you on your
No,
decisions.
I appreciate that.
That way, if there's ever any question later on.
Yep. The next thing that I put on here, I did send out notice back in early March to the people and businesses within towns that have tax abatements, telling them I needed their paperwork for the meeting today. I did not get responses from everyone. I did speak to one that I didn't get a response from tonight in a meeting that I was in prior to this, and apparently there was some confusion with the accountant. I did build a safety net into that to where we still have the first meeting in May where they can go in front of you and be approved to go. But I do have several tonight. I'm just trying to run through them. I find that they're all in substantial compliance. The first is Becky and Gary LLC, which is the tax abatement that involves the last expansion at Super Value. I've reviewed this. It's a tax abatement on real property and the gist of what's involved in this abatement, and they have complied was, that they were going to do the expansion to the business and that they were going to, retain or create the additional, jobs, which they've done both. So I would just be looking for a motion from the board to find that they are in substantial compliance and authorize Ray to sign the document, and then Lori attests his signature.
I do so approve. Move.
I'll second.
We got a motion and a second to approve, Gary Miller Super Value LLC, their tax abatement. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried.
The next is ATJ Real Estate Holdings LLC. What this is the expanded building across the street for Lake Erie Designs. This was the abatement that was granted to them for the building expansion, which has been completed, but then Lake Erie Designs created the additional jobs. Lake Erie Designs is who I spoke to earlier today. And apparently there's some confusion with their accounting, but I think we'll have their piece of it at the next meeting. But again, I'd just be looking for a motion to approve, to find this one in substantial compliance as well, and authorize Ray to sign and Ray to attest his signature.
And make a motion, we accept that tax abatement and have Ray sign it.
Second.
Got a motion and a second to, approve, it was HTJ.
It's ATJ Real Estate Holding.
A as in Adam,
ATJ.
ATJ Holding, LLC for their tax abatement approval. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor? Opposed? Motion carried.
The next one is Clara Gardens LP. This would be our senior apartments that was built on Detroit Street. Again, I've reviewed theirs. They are in substantial compliance, not only substantial compliance, but it's full with a waiting list still. So they're doing very well with what they did. Just be looking for a motion for them to find theirs in substantial compliance as well and authorize Ray to sign.
Move to approve that one.
Second.
You got a motion and a second to approve Claire Gardens, tax abatement applications, for compliance. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried.
And the last is Solar Freeze LLC. They're located up here on 200 North. This is their, theirs was a building expansion and some additional employees. I've reviewed theirs as well. And they are also in substantial compliance. So I would be looking for a motion to find that Solar Freeze LLC is in substantial compliance and authorize Ray to sign the document.
Make a motion to accept the Solar Freeze and have Ray sign it.
Second.
Got a motion and a second to, have me sign Solar Freeze LLC compliance with their tax abatement. Any further discussion? All in favor? Opposed? Motion carried.
And I think the last thing I want to touch on is this Thursday, the EDC is hosting what they're calling the State of LaGrange County. It's a 3-hour meeting at the fairgrounds where there'll be food trucks and stuff. Kind of the way this is going to be set up is for the different governmental entities and stuff, they'll have tables set up out there where from 5 to 6 in the first hour, I'll be out there and we'll man the table and people can come by and ask questions. We'll maybe take some information about town and some different stuff that's going on. Then from 6 to 7, there'll be more of a formal discussion where myself and I think there's people from the county and different different entities and nonprofits that will be making short speeches of about 5 minutes where we'll touch on some different things that the town has done. We'll discuss the times of like our meetings and projects that we're completing, projects that we're working on. And then again, the last hour goes back to a more informal, where people can come up and discuss things one-on-one. All of you are welcome to come. All of you are welcome to be at that, part of that time, all of the time, be available for questions. Whatever, you want to do with that. I think it will be a good piece, and it's just kind of a continuation of where Emily at the EDC has picked up and is now spearheading the county's comprehensive plan and how they're trying to coordinate efforts better and to keep the public informed. So I think it's a good thing. That's it.
That's all we got. Anybody have any questions about anything that Mark's talked about? Thank you, Mark, for all your hard work. You've been busy, so.
And it's a lot of meetings to get to this week. It's going to be really, really busy.
Anybody have anything else for Mark? The fire chief is not here tonight. She's working. Said that he didn't have anything. They did post their runs for the month, and everybody should have received that. Did anybody have any questions? I won't get into what I think about it, but especially on some of the runs for people that are sick, nosebleed.
There's still a lot of those.
I know it's not their fault. I'm not blaming them. It's just insane. It's just insane. Some of them are like, are you really kidding me? You're dispatching even an ambulance to somebody with a nosebleed. Come on now. Get in the car and drive up there, pinch your nose and hold it, put a cold compress on your forehead. I don't know how a lot of us older ones live through our lives without going to the hospital every 23 seconds for a nosebleed. There again, that's just me talking. It does not reflect the views of this board.
Thank you for that statement.
So anybody have any questions about Jeremy's report or anything? And thank you guys. I don't know if you're listening in or not, but getting that report to us. Appreciate it. Bill, what do you got for us tonight?
If I'd have told my dad I called an ambulance because my nose was bleeding, I guarantee you it'd been bleeding after I told him. We have Detroit and Central closing Thursday, which Mark said. Park rules, I thought we'd have done tonight, but we'll apparently have them done next meeting. We'll get the times filled out for what we're doing now, make sure that's all done. Anybody sees anything in that thing, don't be embarrassed to call me. Please give me a holler and say, what about this? And we're just picking things off the list.
Well, did you send that letter out to that large?
I did. On the water thing. Yes, I sent that out right away. Mark reviewed it for me because you were out and wanted to make sure I had it right, and I have not had any response.
Okay, thank you.
Bill, any word on the old tattoo shop, when they plan on starting on that?
I've heard nothing, but I can make sure next meeting I report on it.
Okay.
I can touch on it a little bit.
There you go.
I talked with Dustin. Apparently, Dustin had told me there's still a pending that he believes is cleared up tax issue that ties to him and his ownership of the building. he got tired of fighting with them. So he went ahead and paid and is still trying to work that out. But he doesn't want to transfer the building to the town until he's cleared that tax issue up, because he doesn't want us to inherit a headache. But beyond that, he's got his appraisal and everything and it's ready to go. He's just trying to work through, I'm not sure if it's state or federal on his personal return that has caused an issue with that somehow.
Okay. He had told me there was a tax issue. I just assumed it was one of those the state had a ton of tax liens on it. If he's got it down to one, he did a good job.
Do we have any further movement on our Spring Street property?
That's, I think Rich and I have decided they've got her to the best they're going to get it.
Really?
Uh-oh,
That
Rich,
guy-
doesn't sound like he agrees
stopping
with
me
me.
on the street asking when we're gonna do something about that. Isn't there anything else? If it's in compliance with all of our rules and ordinances?
I'll have
Not
Rich
just
take a
that
look at
that's
it
the-
again.
Where we're gonna get it, but
We felt that we
Really?
were there about a month ago. So, I mean, if there, it's been long enough and the weather's been nice enough, who knows what it looks like today. But yeah,
Yeah.
Rich and I'll get on that this
tarps
week.
all over the thing.
That doesn't make it unsafe. That's
Well, that's true too, but just the stuff, the clutter that's in the yards,
That's behind the fence.
Did the wind
not
didn't take the fence down?
behind the fence to the front, not to the people in the back. And that's where I'm getting some,
But I don't think our rules will cover that from the backside. It's from what we can see on a public right away.
okay.
Rich, you and I can talk about that this week, though. We'll go
All
through it.
That'd be the bad part.
All right.
I'm not disagreeing. I'm
I
just saying.
know. Bill, I don't know if this has anything to do with you, but at our last meeting, they brought up Final Fridays about police protection and wanting to know if the town would donate the officers' pay to police protection down there for 2 officers.
We thought you'd pro bono it.
We do one officer for the 2 or 3 hours.
They're asking for 2.
We've never.
The problem that we have is if we donate that time, then we have to either pay the officers overtime for doing it, or Rich has to go on and change their schedules around.
So we're supplying 1 officer.
Yeah.
Well, that'll have to be good enough. I don't think that,
One's all we need.
yeah,
That's all
it's in such a small area.
All required.
Yeah, okay, all right, we're good there.
And we're gonna make sure he has a radio on him,
Geez,
a working radio.
oh, well, all right, I'm glad you put that in. We
Okay.
want it to be working.
But 2 officers would just crush us.
All right. Well, they had brought it up when they came and talked to us at the last meeting about 2, and we said we'd table it and look into it.
Yeah, the total amount, if you were paying if we were paying what we have set up, I believe she said $750. But if we're donating that and you're only paying the guys the time and a half, it'll be less than that. Does that make sense, Lori? Because she's going off of what our schedule,
Right.
$60 an hour or whatever, so it would actually be less.
But we still would have the issue that if you have 2 officers, you're just messing up everyone's schedule. Or if we have 1 officer and we pay him 2 hours of overtime, it's not a big deal.
1 officer, all right. We'll go with that. Anybody else have anything for Bill? Okay, good deal. Thanks, Bill. Have a good time. Hey, your bicycle riding, geez, you ought to be looking like a Lance Armstrong there.
I wish, he's one of my heroes, of course, but no, yeah, the riding's going well. Body's getting back into shape.
Oh, good. Stay out of the traffic. All right. Anybody else have anything, Bill? Decommissioned water plant, Mark. probably should have brought this up before. How are we coming on our decommission?
Kind of stalled for a minute.
Oh, yeah.
Part of one thing we need to do is come up with, how we're gonna alter it for the fire department. But like I told them, I don't wanna do that until we get the tower back on. So we still have that, because right now we have the option of using it, whereas in.
Oh,
once
to
we-
supplement.
Yeah, once we start moving things around, we won't be able to use it for however long it takes us to get it. So, just waiting for the tower to get done. And the other building, we're just gonna take apart the plumbing. It's been started, but it's been stalled the last couple weeks because of the new guy. But that's something he's gonna start doing too.
Anybody have anything else? Is there any open discussion tonight?
Oh, I wanted to ask, when do we need the splash pad on?
May 9th.
That's the first
Yeah,
day, okay.
May 10th is our first one, but that way you don't go there on a Saturday and work.
Yeah, I think it should be on right now.
I know.
No.
I was like, right?
It's too
Polar
freezing,
bear plunge.
too freezing out there for anybody doing that. Yeah, hey, that's something we could do. We could charge people to have a polar bear front. Plunge run
Oh,
around
yeah,
out there,
the
at
kids are in the cold.
40 below, wind blowing 25 mile an hour.
I'm just seeing liability all over the place.
Yeah, skating rink, yeah, do a lot of stuff. All right. Open discussion, I'll entertain a motion to approve the claims.
I'll make a motion to approve the claims.
Second.
Got any motion and a second to approve our claims? Anybody have any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried.
Make a motion to adjourn.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carried. Thanks, everybody. Thanks for showing up.
Good night, all.
Good night.
Thank you. Goodbye.
Yeah.